Welcome back to this Hobby of Cars. I'm your host D. This is my main man, GMoney. What up, G?
What's up, D?
We were in the car zooming around out here the other day, and I think we got passed by the Mustang.
Oh, the electric.
The electric Mustang
SUV,
hatchback.
Whatever.
Ugh,
Yeah.
kill me now.
Yeah.
And that kicked off a number of debates and car talk. Conversations between us. G's been wrenching for years. I think you came out of the womb with a socket set in your hand, right?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I've driven cars. I used to change intercoolers.
I've seen it once.
I changed the intercooler on his car once,
Yeah.
and he's persuaded that I over-torqued the screw.
I mean, the bypass valve didn't unthread itself.
Blah, blah, blah. He's talking like Chinese algebra right now. I have no idea what he's talking about. Anyways, the point is, he knows a lot about cars. And so we were yapping about cars, and we got into a conversation about the Mustang. Car yapping. That's what's up.
Yeah.
And he noted that, well, he knows, he knows I have a 2008 Bullet Mustang. He was there when I went for the test drive. I hadn't been driving stick for a while, and so I took him to go see the car. I took him to see a lot of cars. Too many. And so I have him do the test drive while I'm in the passenger seat, and he is tearing it apart.
I wasn't doing anything to it I wasn't built for.
And I'm like, dude, you need to calm down, take it easy. And he said to me,
It's not your car.
this is not your car. He said it very, very, very foofy. Like, this is not your car.
But was
And
I
he's like,
wrong?
Technically, no, but I was like, you were the second person I took to see it.
Oh, really?
So I was about to lay down the coin for it. And he's like gear grinding it. He's a great driver.
Gear grinding. How dare you?
I'm mostly teasing, mostly. But the reality is he was really putting it through his paces. I guess I should thank him. But
Carbon out for you.
yeah, no doubt.
This car has carbon in it.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
not anymore.
Yeah.
He expressed the position, and I should move my coconut so I can put in some inserts. I'll probably have to go full screen since they're cars. That the 2008 body style harkens back to the original.
Well,
And I
certainly-
I still don't see it, bro, if I'm being honest.
You
It
don't
doesn't
see
doesn't
it.
remind me of the original Pony.
The fastback?
Oh, you meant the fastback.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the original one.
No, and not the 64 and a half.
Yeah.
The 67, 68
Well, that's what.
fastback. 67, 68, I believe, is when they did the fastback.
That's the Bullet car. This is 68.
Yeah. So,
That reframes my.
yeah, it's
Opinion.
not the coupe.
Yeah, the Coopy.
Yeah, it's the fastback, which to be honest, that actually kind of upset me when they did the 2008 and they brought it back and they're like, oh, it's you get a fastback and you get a fastback. And it was just kind of like the fastback used to mean something.
Yeah.
Not everybody had the fastback, and you don't see them too often. At
Yeah.
least in the late '60s version. And then it was just like, oh, now we're just gonna do that permanently. I was like, okay, well, I mean, it's hard to argue that it's
Giving the fastback to the people.
yeah, that's true, but it's not the original. So it's not the original.
Yeah.
It's the late '60s
Vibe.
hatchback. Or
Okay, I can give you a
fastback.
little bit of it. I think they certainly tried to hearken, but
Certainly much more than the 94, I think it is 94 to 99.
I don't even
I
know.
forget when maybe it went into the 2000s.
At least the 2001 had this kind of. Well,
okay,
no.
That's the 2001.
No, this is the 2001 is the previous gen, which is different than this. See, I thought this one, the 2004, was the one you were no bueno on.
Well, there was the one, and I'm not a Mustang guy, but I'm trying to remember this. In the late 90s,
Yep.
they had the one with the taillights that went this way, like the lights went whoosh, just like whoosh, they were like the horizontal lights,
Okay.
which was just kind of like, why did that's like, there's no design language that's being transferred from any Mustang really. So then they kind of took that same body style, whatever that late 90s version was, and they kind of tried to make it, they changed the taillights a little bit, but overall, like the front of it, I mean, it was the same car as far as I know, the same chassis and everything like that. They just put a little stink on it, and it was a little bit more towards like the flavor of the original Mustang. And don't get me wrong, there are many other cars, many other Mustangs that do not like pay homage to the original Mustang. The one after the 74, I think.
The Cobra 2.
Oh,
that's a rough one.
that's
the Charlie's Angels Mustang.
Yeah, that's a
I think
face
it's the
only
Mustang.
a mother could love.
I think it's called the Mustang 2.
Yeah.
They did. You know what's funny is they brought that out.
Yeah.
Because of the gas shortage to conserve. They actually made a Cobra version.
Yeah.
The Cobra version, I think, had
actually,
240 horsepower, something minuscule.
Terrible horsepower back then in that period, but
yeah, I don't think about it anymore.
No,
you know what's funny about the Charlie's Angels show?
No.
They had a phone in their car, but it was like just off your mother's cupboard.
I mean, I think
it's like this little. It was like a standard rotary dial off someone's desk.
I think that's how it worked.
No.
I think that did exist. Anyway.
All right, I don't want to think about that one anymore. No more Mustang 2 Electric Boogaloo.
No, that one was terrible, but the Fox body was great.
Fox body's fabulous.
Yeah, it does not pay any homage at all.
Anything.
But it
except to the 80s.
Yes, it pays hardcore homage
5.0 Fox body is one of the fastest cars you can get for under 12 grand or whatever. It's like...
Not anymore.
Oh, they went up?
They've been going up for a bit.
They've been getting collected then.
Well, yeah, it's
There was a time.
There
was.
a ton of those.
Yeah.
And then people turn them into, track missiles and just, wad them up and throw them away.
Wow.
And then people would take them and swap the engine out of them into, 60, 65, 66s and whatnot. And
those
which is great.
Days.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
Those were the days.
But the Fox body is now kind of it's on
a thing.
I'd put it on the endangered species list.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not a quality made car, but it is a fun car.
Yeah, 5.0. All right, moving on. There's a saying in the car world, there's nothing more expensive than a cheap Mercedes.
That's true, except a cheap Mercedes that is now being sold under the Dodge label.
Yes, which what we're coming to is the one, the only, Crossfire.
It's a great looking car. I will admit that I wanted one when it came out.
I love that it exists. It was never a car for me, but for me, it screams Art Deco styling. I'm not saying I'm right, but that's what it impresses me as.
Chrysler kind of tried to embrace that a lot.
Yeah, we got 3 or 4 cars to go through. This one was the brainchild of Wunderkind, 25-year-old Eric Stoddard, who designed it, and then
Wunderkid, is that Wonder Kid?
I don't know what Wunderkind is. I think
I believe in German that would be Wonder Kid.
I don't know. I'll insert what that means. I ought to have looked it up, but there's no internet here in the desert.
No.
Then he got hired away to Hyundai. So this was basically a Daimler Chrysler Mercedes-Benz collab. But what's underneath it? You were telling me an interesting story.
It's an SL500.
SL500 under the panels.
500 SL. 500 SL, I think, is actually it, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Also not a Mercedes guy.
I'm not a Merc guy.
I like them.
I like them.
But I can't afford them.
Yeah. So what? Yeah, what's
500 SL? Yeah, it's a 500 SL. I think is the actual model. Okay. It's the 90s 500 SL.
Okay.
Whatever coupe convertible, which was an okay car.
Okay.
I mean,
one of my bosses used to drive one.
Chrysler, if you're listening.
They love my channel.
It was probably better than anything Chrysler could have put out.
Yeah.
But yeah, my understanding is that it was just purely based on the, what was it, the 500 SL with like a Dodge Intrepid engine or something like that, which is, I think, essentially a
Frankenstein car.
A Mitsubishi Dodge collab V6.
Are you making stuff up now?
No. The Mitsubishi and Dodge, they co-developed V6, which is still being sold.
Starion?
No, that was a 4-cylinder. That was actually a really great engine. But yeah, it was in the Dodge Caravan.
Starion Conquest.
Yeah, those are great.
Those were cool.
They're very cool.
But this one I kind of wanted to bring up in discussion because
Throwback.
There's
Yeah.
there's this one that just harkens back, design language harkening back to yesteryear,
Yeah. But in a
Which-
weird,
futuristic type way.
it's like the futuristic way when you watch like a movie in the 80s and they told you what
What's gonna happen
2010 was going to be like.
Yeah, they basically just got it wrong.
Yeah.
Next up, the PT Cruiser, and your vote, the
HHR.
Funny enough, same designer, Brian Nesbitt.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Really?
no joke, same guy.
That's hilarious.
That I did look up.
Okay.
And I liked the PT Cruiser Woody
Uh-huh.
from a design thing. It wasn't a car for me, but I'm
Those
glad
things
it
are
was
fast.
made. I'm glad it was made. It looked cool.
Yeah.
I think the challenge is a lot of them, they didn't invest in good rims. A lot of them I saw. The paneling
No.
I thought was super neat.
Yeah, it always peeled off.
Yeah.
But it was actually a pretty quick car. So you could get the PT Cruiser with, I believe it came with a turbo, which effectively I imagine makes that a Dodge Neon turbo with a like extended cab. I don't know. And
Room in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were fast. 0 to 60 like 6.75 seconds or something like that, if I remember.
Now you had some observations about this HHR.
The HHR is a General Motors 1955, 56 panel delivery. It is an homage. I would have to talk to Brian Nesbitt about this,
Yeah.
but I'm fairly sure it is an homage of the 55-ish
Yeah.
panel truck delivery.
Well, I mean, he designed both of these, and certainly the Woody is emblemative of what was going on during that reasonable
I
period.
don't know what it's supposed to be, though, if it is an homage.
What do you mean? It's like the
It's
old-timey
not-
cars.
Yeah, but it's just, it's like it's an homage to old-timey cars.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
like the
well done.
HHR, it clearly has.
I didn't do
roots.
the marketing.
Yeah, no, I know. That HHR actually looks all right. I wouldn't have it,
Yeah, it's
but it looks fun.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then the last one in this little car foray for the day is, of course, the Prowler.
Prowler's great.
Rawr.
Yeah.
One of the most important facts
Mm-hmm.
that gearheads should know is the Prowler and Viper were designed by the same guy,
Yep.
Thomas C. Gale.
Yep.
I can see it now, but I had no idea. It's like when you talk about watches and who designed this watch. Name 4 other designers other than Gerald Genta. You know, very few people can do that. Maybe you and I can drum up a couple, but
Yeah.
wow, I love the Prowler. Are they even fast?
No.
They're not fast.
No, it's a V6. It might even be the same Dodge Caravan V6.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Because they look fast.
well, you can make them fast.
Well, it looks like a hot rod.
It does look like yeah. It looks very 32-ish.
Yep. Chop cab.
It's something like a 32 Ford that came out of what's his name's shop.
That guy.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy's shop.
Boyd Coddington.
Wow.
For the old guys.
Yeah, for the old
Boyd
cats.
Coddington. The young people don't know who Boyd Coddington is, but
You'd be making that up right now.
yeah.
I think this is a beautiful car. I think the Viper is also beautiful.
Well, I was going to actually say that you mentioned the Viper, and I would argue that is that's got to be somewhat of an homage too to the Chevy. What is that thing called?
Nova.
No. Nova, man.
Nova.
No, the Cheetah.
The Cheetah.
It's something. There's some kind of cat that. So Ford made they had the Daytona. They had a Daytona,
Okay.
and it was a race car.
Did that have the big
They had like
rim on the back, or the big wing on the back?
Yeah, it was old.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Chevy came out with this other thing that was a little. Well, it looked like male bits, essentially. And,
Okay.
It looked very.
We're coming back to the Viper.
Yeah, but the Viper is that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's got a V10 in it. It's got that long hood. And
10
it's
cylinder.
all,
Wait, I thought it was a 10-cylinder V8
it's a
in there.
10-cylinder V8. No,
Yeah.
I worked for a guy that had a 10-cylinder V8 Dodge Viper. That's what he told me.
Takes all kinds.
Takes all kinds.
But you actually used to drive in one
I put one together.
Like, what were you? Lay it down. What did you do with that Viper?
Well,
I remember certain things of the story, but you go ahead and tell it.
My dad took it apart, and then he had to go to the hospital for a minute, and I had to put it back together.
Oh, was it his? Whose was it?
No, it was a customer.
Oh, so he's doing some upgrades to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're horrible. The first gens are horrible to drive. You have to open the doors at stoplights, otherwise, like the
It overheats.
heat is just inside.
The heat was hot.
The heat was hot.
Is it because of the placement of those side pipes, or
Side
just?
pipes were definitely a factor of it, but it was just like the engine was pushed. The engine was pushed back as far as it could be into the cabin to kind of equalize the weight distribution front to back, and then it was a horrible car to live in.
Oh wow.
But it was a lot of fun, especially the one that I was putting together with I think it had a supercharger and it had a NOS fogger. So it was like you couldn't not peel out.
Wow.
So yeah, it was
Fastest car you ever drove? That one? I mean, your car is pretty fast, but
I think my car's faster.
oh wow.
Yeah, I think it's faster.
Subaru represent. But yeah, I would like
Prowler's
to see.
great though.
I'd like to see the Prowler like with a 12-cylinder V8. That would be even rad.
So these actually they take modifications really well because the people that bought them they really loved them. Like you don't see like junked out Prowlers, which is kind of like
a bunch of digs in the paint.
Yeah.
Always needing the car wash.
Yeah, they never show up at the boneyard. Like no one's picking parts off of a Prowler.
I wonder how many
parts yard. Like
hey, I need a rear signal bulb thing.
Oh, good luck.
Tail light.
Yeah, because this is like 98 or something. Wasn't it?
I wonder how many of them they made.
It was in the low thousands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do they go for these days, you think?
Like 35.
That's not horrible for a pretty exotic looking car.
I mean, pick up a girl in a Prowler. She'd probably be like, "Not this guy," but
not getting in.
No, but it's
It's her fault for finding me on
pick up her
Craigslist. But she found me on Craigslist Personals. It's her fault.
Right.
I'm posing with my Prowler.
Of course.
She knew what was happening.
All
right.
Yeah.
Well, that was a bit of car fun with GMoney, one of my car bros. Certainly someone I take advice from on cars. And I should have taken his advice on the... We went to go see a 97 Supra. No, it was a 96 6-speed Supra, triple black, 17 grand.
Yeah.
Things were rocky at work at the time. I didn't want to get another car payment going, but it was a salvage title, rebuilt title, different radiator or whatever, and some other stuff, but it was running well. 17 Gs.
It was immaculate.
It was dark.
It was immaculate.
It was dark. You wouldn't have noticed, man. It was pretty cool.
Oh, I know.
But the point is, I should have bought it.
Yeah.
Sell that car for easy 80.
Yeah.
If it didn't have the salvage title, then
matter.
140.
No,
but
I don't even think it matters anymore.
Not with that car, not
Because
anymore.
it was a true turbo.
Yeah, it was legit.
It wasn't a a non-turbo swap.
No, it was.
turbo.
Well, here's the thing: it was a
The guy-
6-speed.
Yeah, and
turbo.
the guy loved it.
Yeah.
Like he wrecked it, he fixed it, and he fixed it right.
It wasn't a guy; it was a younger guy. It was a
It was
kid.
a guy.
I think, but it was a young guy. It wasn't like an older dude.
Well, it was a young guy with money because he did it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think he got insurance out on it.
Probably.
And then, yeah. Anyway, the point is, GMoney is on my board of directors, and you need a board of directors in your life. People you can trust, people you can get advice from, and certainly someone who will go car shopping with you, no matter how much they complain about it. Anyways, having some fun out here, talking cars. Hope you enjoyed it as well. A bit of an oddball episode, but we talk watches, we talk cars, we talk all sorts of things. So thank you for your time, GMoney, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace. That's a cut.
Fan club's here.
What's that?
Fan club's here.
Yeah, legit. I don't do autographs.